Hi. I had a jam-packed weekend. Like, whoa. Friday after work, I went to an interfaith service and then dinner at the Calvary Church where Gold Sedek is held. It was just it was like a inauguration day community solidarity gathering. It was beautiful. I'm really enjoying all of the interfaith stuff that Rabbi Ari Lev is organizing. I mean, I don't know if he's organizing, but like since he became the rabbi, there's been more of it, so I'm guessing that's the connection there. And so that was a really nice service and a really nice dinner, and I met this guy named Jacob, who is brand new to Philadelphia. He moved here 2.5 weeks ago, and he's working at the Penn Library, and one of his coworkers is a Kol Tzedek member, so she dragged him along, and I met him, and he's like a data scientist and a psychologist, and I was like, I must know more. I don't have time to interact with you right now because it's time to go, but, you know, this was a lovely 15-minute conversation. Let's hang out in the future. So I grabbed his card, his number, and that was nice. And then I went home, and around 10 p.m. I went out again and had a drink with Lucas de Jesus from Cheltenham, and he's a good kid. He's a fine, upstanding young man who's still close pals with his Cheltenham buddies. I don't really understand him, but he's a fine kid, that Lucas de Jesus. Saturday morning, I went to the march with my friend Christy and Kol Sedek. We met up at 19th and Market and had a brief Shabbat service, like right there on the street side, and then stayed together for the whole march. It was jam-packed. I'm sure you've seen pictures. There were 50,000 people marching in Philadelphia. And we did nigunim and sang songs the whole time to like stay together, and it was really nice. So I was with Christy and, you know, other people in my congregation I liked. Charlie and Willa were there. And I sort of had a walking buddy with my friend Deborah. She's part of the congregation. She and her wife have a 14-year-old girl. She's kind of sullen, but she's in some of my classes sometimes as a madracha. So Deborah was there, and her wife wasn't there, and Deborah is visually impaired, so she asked if I could be her march buddy, like, to make sure that she didn't get lost in the crowd, and I was happy to do so. So she stuck with me the whole time, and, you know, we walked for 2.5 hours. By the time we, like, Egan's Oval was as full as it was going to be, and there was no way we were going to be close enough to hear the speakers, and Deborah was really overwhelmed, which I can only imagine, being surrounded by 50,000 people and not really being able to see what's going on. So we left and walked her back to the trolley and headed back to West Philly, Christy and I, and then Christy and I hung at my house for a little while, and then she went home, and then Breyer came over and we had a date. We watched Ghostbusters and ate Thai food, and that was really nice. They're in Austin this week, so I'm not going to see them for a week, but that's okay. Kenny was in DC the whole weekend. Kenny marched in DC and had a really rewarding time. They're on the bus right now to come home. And then on Sunday morning, Tyler and I organized a brunch and discussion for the Queer Jews Chavurah, potluck brunch. So yum, delicious potluck food. I love brunch. I made curried potatoes and sweet potatoes and onions, like curried home fries, and I was pretty damn proud of them, to be honest. And had a really good discussion about self-care and social action and what we can do as a community of mostly white Jews. Like, there are black Jews in our congregation and Jews of color, but at least the LGBTQ Chavurah tends to be largely white, and the things that we can then do as a group to help make the voices of our, like, black colleagues and friends more well heard. It was just like a really good conversation, and we spent a lot of time talking about how we can check each other without having to rely on black people like correct us and spend their energy helping us as allies as opposed to taking care of themselves and doing their own work, and talk about prioritizing work for ourselves, like as self-care and also as social action. It was just Tamar, I love my community so much. I didn't know it could be like this. I just love my synagogue. I love the people in it. I love running the Chavurah. Asterisk. So that was the brunch and discussion. I had the footnote is Tyler and I had a hilarious Skype conversation with Stephen Scher, who is the person who runs the Collaborative and Spectrum Philly, which are the other Jewish queer groups in Philadelphia, but they're for like mostly gay men, not entirely, but mostly. I've met women in the groups, but and they all revolve around alcohol. So Stephen was like, let's collaborate on events, and we were like, okay, but it's gonna have to not be a happy hour because all of your events are happy hours. And he was like, no, we did a cocktail havdalah. I'm like, yeah, no. There were more funny things. He was at one point talking about a service they ran, and the rabbi this, and the rabbi this, and she's a lesbian, and Tyler and I stifled laughter with difficulty. Like, cool, we kind of assumed she was queer in some way, but thanks for letting us know that she's a lesbian. Oh, Steve Scher. Anyway, back to brunch on Sunday. So that was a really good conversation. And then I was going to just chill for the rest of the day, but Rabbi Michelle texted me. She is the director of education at Kol Tzedek and asked if I could sub at Torah school. So I did. There are some real freaking cute kids in that class. I was with the first graders and kindergartners. They're a joint class. It's 3 kindergartners and like 11 first graders. And one of the kindergartners, her name is Eve, and her big sister's name is Naomi. And she was so cute. Tamar, she was so cute. She was telling me all about, she's black and her dad is white, and she's telling me about her hair. I was like, my dad's gonna fix my hair tonight, and he learned how to do my hair by watching YouTube videos. And I was like, good on your dad. That's great. Love it. And then after I got out of Torah school around 5:30, Jacob, the guy I met on Friday, texted me and said that his dinner plans got canceled, so we grabbed a bite to eat at Vietnam Cafe, and then went to a big brass band concert at the Calvary, which was not just the big brass band, apparently. It was like brassy jazz, and then also some blues. There were several Calvary groups performing together, so there, Julie, I can't remember her last name, whatever, she's got a Sephardic band with really gorgeous music, and there was a choir from the Methodist Church. There was a elderly black man doing like jazz music complete with his own harmonica. It was like so good. It was a really great concert. And then Jake and I were like, we're really enjoying interacting. So we went back to his place and drank tea, and he played this really phenomenal music for me, like an album. He's got like an armchair positioned between 2 speakers perfectly. So there was this like, one of the albums was this classical guitarist playing with a Buddhist nun singing chants. Like, he stayed in the nunnery one night or something in fucking Nepal, a Nepalese nun, and was like so haunted by the sound of her singing that he came back a few years later and was like, please do this thing with me. So I was just like in this perfect listening spot, just drinking tea and absorbing this phenomenal music. And that was my night last night, and that was my weekend. It was so much. Tonight is family night. Tomorrow night I start practicum class. Wednesday or Thursday I start going to the Divine Providence Village to do practicum. I have a lot of homework to do. So we're going to have family night tonight, and then I have to do a ton of work to get ready for practicum tomorrow because I accidentally spent 6 hours with a new friend instead of doing work, because I don't think I've ever clicked with someone so quickly as I have with this guy, and we just had so much to talk about, so I couldn't bring myself to go home and do my homework. So I went home around midnight, and so my irresponsibility will now mean staying up late again tonight to get stuff done, and that's my own fault. And I'm at 9 minutes because I need to make more videos for you. I suck. I'm going to stop in the next 5 seconds, so this is not over 9 minutes. Bye!